Hey everybody, it's Dave from Projector People. I am here today to show off a fantastic new ultra short throw projector from Casio. This is the Casio UT310WN. This is a 3100 lumen WXGA projector. It's a 16 by 10 native resolution. This puppy can project an image 100 inches from 1.5 feet away. So if you are in situations where you need to present and you're tired of being blinded by the projector when you go up to the screen to point something out, or you just need a big image from far away and you don't need to install something, this is a fantastic projector. While it could be installed, it could also very easily sit on a table and project that image right up on the wall. And we'll show you those in just in just a second. Just really quickly, this has a 16-watt built-in speaker, so it is perfect for classrooms, maybe probably under 50 people or a big conference room. It'll be plenty loud enough for that. It has 2 gigabytes of built-in memory for presenting straight from the projector itself without having to worry about hooking stuff up. It is ultra short throw, so the throw ratio on this is 0.28 to 1, which is really, really low. There's no zoom, but you're not going to need this because you're basically going to set it and forget it. The other great thing about this projector is it's Casio's lamp-free series. So if you are tired of paying for lamps every 3 months, if you need a heavy-use projector that's going to last you years and years and years, a lamp-free model, a hybrid lamp model, is the way to go. This is an LED laser projector. You can anticipate getting 20,000 hours from this and using it many hours a day without having to worry about burning out that bulb in critical situations. We'll show you some of the inputs in just a second. The last thing I wanted to mention was how fast this thing starts and stops. If you are on crunch time for presenting, you don't need to get in there 15 minutes early to set up the projector and get it to full brightness. This thing is at full brightness 8 seconds in. If someone needs to stop the presentation so you can talk, you can turn it off, turn it right back on, and you're presenting in just less than 2 or 3 seconds. That's basically it. Let's take a look at the inputs. Okay, so we are taking a look at the inputs now for the Casio UT310WN Ultra Short Throw Projector. So no, your monitor did not just flip upside down. Danny's not standing on her head. This is how the inputs look from the side. I said before that this is a tabletop model. Really, it looks like it's more to be an installation projector. It is kind of I wouldn't say it's heavy, but it's not a little tiny portable unit. So once it's installed, all these inputs will make a lot of sense when you're looking at them. But for now, I'll explain them to you as they are. So we basically got 2 computer inputs. So this thing is packed with inputs. We have 2 computer inputs, so you can hook up 2 laptops, a dedicated computer. We have 2 audio ins for each of the computers. We have a dedicated microphone input, so if you're going to do some presenting through these speakers, that's the way to do that. We have a 3.5 audio out if you want to go to a sound system in the room. We have a micro USB, we have S-video, we have your RGB. You have your monitor out, so if you wanted to present this on another display, whether it's a projector or your digital signage or something, you could do that. You have your serial port, HDMI, your LAN, it's RJ45 compatible, it's networkable. So this is great if you want to monitor this from a central location. All your projectors and keep track of it and how many hours it's run for service. You have your USBs, 2 USBs, USB-A and USB. So that's basically all the inputs you're going to need for a projector in this type of situation. And then, if Dan, you want to take a look at the top here, we've got all our traditional menu buttons. So if you're going to use this from a standing position where it's on the table, you can easily reach everything you need to. If you want to pause everything for a second, you just click this button. It's instant on, instant off, like I mentioned before. Here's all your inputs. So if you want to scroll through the different input types, your auto colors, and then this will navigate all of the color settings, eco mode settings, and things like that inside there. And we'll take a look at that once we have this up and running. Okay, we are looking at the ultra short throw Casio, the UT310WN, and as you can see, this is a pretty big image, and I don't know if Danny can actually capture this or not, but we are about about this far from the screen, which is probably 1.5 feet, less than 2 feet. We have almost a 100-inch image. When I first set it up about 4 feet away, it took up the entire wall and half of the ceiling. So that ultra short throw range really makes a difference. I would not recommend going that much higher, but you could. One thing that I did notice as we were doing it was the top was a little fuzzy, but there's a focus bar on the side, just for you people that have just purchased it and are trying to figure out how to focus it. There's a little focus bar on the side that allows you to fine tune the focus of it. So if you're looking for a color wheel or filter wheel, you're not going to find that, but it's on the side. It's just a little slider. And then everything came out looking fantastic. This is a really nice projector. We're at 3,100 lumens. So on some of the other Casios that I showed off that were 3,500 lumens that were 6 feet away, this is 3,100 lumens from only 1.5 feet away, and it's just as bright, if not brighter, in a high ambient situation. So one of the misconceptions, or maybe not misconceptions, but things that you should keep in mind is that a lower lumen projector is going to give you a bright, big image if it's an ultra short throw or a short throw, versus you need basically you need less lumens when you're dealing with a short throw or ultra short throw than you would for a comparable projector, that's going to be positioned or installed 10, 15 feet away. The other great advantage of this is I can present, and unless I get really close to the lens, I can do this all day long and never get in front of the actual light source. So I'm not going to be blinded. I'm not going to be staring into darkness when I look at the audience. And it lets me be a little more interactive and get closer to the screen. This has a lot of the same features as the other ones, where you can zoom in and talk about parts of the screen as you go. You can freeze frame the screen if you're watching video and just show that one thing. You can blank the screen if you want to keep total focus on you when you're making a point about something and then come right back to it. So that's a really, really nice feature. All the inputs on the front are there as well. We already talked about that, and as well as this. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the lights so you can see this thing in action in the dark. I have to walk all the way back, so just a second. All right. So this does have auto keystoning, and you can keystone it as well on here, but there's not a lot of other adjustments that you have. There's obviously no zoom because you're dealing with an ultra short throw. So if you want to get a bigger image, you're going to have to physically move that projector, which I'll show you in just a second to kind of see how big we can actually get. So this is a traditional presentation type of situation that I've showed off in plenty of the other videos. It works fantastic. The text is crisp and clear. It's easy to differentiate the contrast, and it's really nice looking. I'll just show off a couple of the images so you can see kind of how this color looks. Actually, wow, it looks really quite great. Just like the other Casio, it is a DLP projector, so sometimes the reds are a little bit too red, but these are really, really nice. You do have some fine-tune adjustments over the color settings as far as the green, the yellows, and the blues, or green, reds, and blues. So you could dial those up and down a little bit if one is oversaturated. And then there's 3 presets for warm, cool, and natural. And then you just have your typical presets for your screen types. Normal, if you're showing it on a blackboard, it adjusts for that. Or graphics settings, which kind of mute it a little bit. So there are some settings in here for you to play around with. But just out of the box, this is a really nice, comfortable image, if not just a little oversaturated. And then as far as the contrast goes, same thing here. Now we are ultra short throw, and I'm much closer to the screen, so it's kind of hard for me to actually see this. But there is quite good contrast here. Not quite as good as you'd expect in a home theater unit, but this is not a home theater unit. You do see the gradations between the super darks and the grays and the lights, but you have a really crisp detail, especially down here in the rocks, which is really, really nice. And you can read everything really easily, so that's really important. If you're showing off charts, it's fantastic. I'll just show a little bit of video that we grabbed from just the internet. And again, we're streaming wirelessly, so totally adequate. This would be, right at home in a conference room, a boardroom. You could definitely show this off in a church if you don't have a lot of space. You could install this really close to the wall as well as just putting it on a table. But it looks really, really pleasing. The colors are not super distracting. Everything's just a little bit rich. Now, Casio says that this projector is recommended to go to 100 inches, but this is easily 160 inches, and it still looks pretty darn good. So, especially we're talking about maybe 2.5 feet away from the screen now. I wouldn't really go much bigger than that, but you probably aren't going to go much bigger than that if you're in a situation. So the important thing here is that in ultra short throws, we've seen a lot, there's bubbling or there's warping around the edges. I don't see that evidenced at all here. It may be a little fuzzy around the very edges, but not much. It is a DLP, so there's a little bit of rainbow artifacting, but not bad. And the color quality is quite good. So I highly encourage you to take a look at the UT310. It's a fantastic ultra short throw projector, and it's a lamp free, so you never have to worry about bulb replacement. If you have any questions, give us a call, projectorpeople.com. Our experts are available for you Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Through phone or chat. And make sure you subscribe to watch more videos. Thanks. Bye.